ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ತಿರುಪತಿ ರೂಪ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ತಿರುಮಲ ವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಪುರಾಣ ಪುರುಷ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಪುಂಡರಿಕಾಕ್ಷ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಪಾಂಡುರಂಗ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಪಂಡರಿನಾಥ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ವೇಣು ವಿನೋದ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ವಿಜಯ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಕೃಷ್ಣ ರಾಮ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಗೋವಿಂದ ಹರೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಗೋಪಾಲ ಹರೆ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಆಪದ್ಬಾಂಧವ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಅನಾಥ ರಕ್ಷಕ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ಭಕ್ತವತ್ಸಲ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಭಾಗವತ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ, ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಸಂಕಟಹರಣ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ ತಿರುಪತಿ ರೂಪ ಗೋವಿಂದ ತಿರುಮಲ ವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ ಗೋವಿಂದ So as such there is no question for me, because either it is addressed to Sakshat Ji or it is unaddressed. Is there any question which is addressed to me but not written? Is there any question for me? Okay, so I am very happy that I have taught you so well or I have taught you so complicated that, question itself doesn't come. Either way, so we'll take it in a positive way. Alright, so we have got Deeparadhana mantra. Yes, please ask.
We are pure conscious and
Consciousness, yeah.
we are pure consciousness, and we are said that due to ignorance we have to remove the ignorance. So
Due to ignorance?
Ignorance.
Ah.
So how did the first ignorance might have come to
First ignorance? First ignorance. First ignorance never came. It is anadi.
Okay.
Any ignorance doesn't come.
Mm-hmm.
Not only this ignorance. Do you know Chinese?
No.
You don't know. Since when you don't know Chinese?
Anadi.
Huh?
Anadi.
Bas. You made my job so easy. That's how it is.
Okay.
So, ignorance is beginningless.
Mm-hmm.
And it is people have a lot of difficulty in accepting this. Yes, your question is over. I will talk about it. This is a big question, big issue for many sadhakas. Everybody wants to know when all this trouble started. So people want to know when all these problems started. So problem is, say, the root cause of all problems is ignorance. So you want to say, when did it start? It has not started. And people say, but Swamiji, anything is there, it should have beginning, no? It should have beginning. So somehow there is some expectancy, some insistence, some obsession with the idea that ignorance also should have beginning. People, if we tell, I wish there was an answer, but there is no answer. Why? Because there is no beginning. It is not that there was a beginning and we don't know. That is not the situation. Certain things when it started we don't know. But here it is not like that. Ignorance, when did it start? We don't know. That is not the case. Ignorance did not start, therefore we cannot point out when it started. If something started and if we are not able to point out, then we say it is our ignorance about the beginning of the ignorance. That is not the case. It did not start. Ignorance did not start. And people have lot of difficulty in accepting this. People say, somehow, Swamiji, we are not able to, be happy, we are not able to argue. but somehow we are not fully satisfied. So I also used to have, once upon a time in my life, I also have gone through, I was sitting there only. Means in this situation. So I used to have that, that ignorance also should have beginning. Then I understood that it is a big blessing. And I said, why it's a problem that we don't know when it starts. But ignorance does not have beginning is a big blessing. You know why? Because if ignorance can begin, then what will happen? With great difficulty, you attend so many workshops, so many retreats and so many courses and so much study, recording you do. And then, what do? You remove ignorance. That's what the Shastra says. By Jnanam, what we do? We remove ignorance. Great difficulty you removed. Then what happens? It can begin. If ignorance can begin, it will begin again. Like every day we clean the body, again next day it is dirty. So similarly, this, if ignorance can begin, it will begin again. Thank God, ignorance knows how to go, it doesn't know how to come. It's a big blessing. If ignorance has got beginning, you had it. Means all the time you have to attend classes. All the time sadhana chatushtaya, karma yoga, all. Thank God, it does not have beginning. It ends, in technical language we call it, it is anadi santaha. Not shantaha, santaha, Saraswati sir, santaha. Means it does not have beginning, but it has got the end. And that is a big blessing. So ignorance does not have beginning. And Pujya Swamiji used to say, if ignorance has got beginning, what should be there before that? Before that, if ignorance is there, then knowledge should be there. Then if knowledge is there, how ignorance can come? Or if you say, no, Swamiji, there was no knowledge also, no ignorance also. Some people will argue that, okay, there was no knowledge, there was no beginning. There was no ignorance also, there was no knowledge. And one day ignorance started. Suppose, Shastra doesn't say, but suppose you give this proposal. How about that? Swamiji, one fine morning or evening or afternoon, when I was sleeping, ignorance started. When I woke up, ignorance was there with me, like somebody who is possessed by some spirit, no? So similarly, one day, ignorance caught hold of me. We have to assume something like this. If ignorance has a beginning, so one thing is that ignorance cannot hang around. It has to be in a living being. Isn't it? It cannot. Ignorance, can you hang, can you see it like you can catch hold of and put it in a box or something? Can you do it? Ignorance has to obtain in a living being, some jiva. So now you tell me that what was the basis for ignorance to come on that day? There should be some nimitta. Why it did not come before and why it came on that day only? You will have so many questions to answer. If you accept ignorance as a beginning, how will you establish? Whichever you say that some 3 million years ago ignorance started, 10 millions, 100 billion, trillion, whatever time you give, that you have to establish what was the reason that day ignorance started. Not before, not after, on that day. Is there a muhurta for ignorance or what? Really, it cannot be established. No way you can establish the beginning. Try. If you try to establish the beginning, you will have so many questions to answer. Whereas when I say it does not have beginning, I don't have to answer any questions. It doesn't have beginning. If beginning is there, I have to answer when, why. In fact, afterwards, when next question will come, why did it begin? Nobody will invite troubles, So why this consciousness, Brahman invited this? Therefore, no way it can be established. It is anadi, swabhavikam ajnanam. And what is the problem? Why you are so particular, that ignorance should have beginning? If you are so insistent, then you will say Brahman also should have beginning. Once I asked this question, I asked one Swamiji, I said, Swamiji, this Maya is beginningless, is very difficult for people to assimilate. They said, somehow beginning should be there. If you say that, then Brahman also should have beginning. If you are so particular, then insistence should continue there. And therefore there is no end. If Brahman also has beginning, then what was there before Brahman? And what is the cause for Brahman? You have a hell of questions. And therefore, what Shastra says, it makes sense, and anything else does not make sense. What Shastra says makes sense, and anything else does not make sense. We will have so many questions to answer. Therefore, ignorance has not begun. We have to let go of this obsession of beginning of ignorance. By seeing all this, whenever you think ignorance should begin, immediately think of all this. What all problems will come? So ignorance has no beginning. And it has got the end. And it is a blessing that it does not have beginning. When you start seeing this ignorance is beginningless, is a blessing, then your emotional resistance to the idea that ignorance is beginningless will be reduced. Otherwise, emotionally we feel, why it is like this? Should have beginning. So it's good, not beginning. All right. Swamiji, yeah, okay, sure.
Normally we refer to
Please, you take the mic. Of course, your voice also is mic. Somebody
else is talking.
No, afterwards that person. Oh, acha, you are talking or... Okay, you start. You have mic, you start. Okay.
Normally we refer to Veda as the Shastram. But in the chapter 15th of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Iti guhyatam shastram idamuktam maya naga etad buddha buddhimansyat krita krityasya bharata. So what is the special significance of chapter 15? And Shastra means exactly what? Can you please?
Okay, good question. You give me good questions. I can go up to 8:45. No? मैं भी सोच रहा था क्या करूं. So all right, so good. See, it is like a hot question. It's not like written question. All right. See, the definition of Shastra is Shishyate Buddhyate Anena iti Shastram. The body of knowledge by which a person gets knowledge, that is called Shastra. And there are two types of Shastra. One is called Moola Shastram. Moola Shastram is Vedas. So, the main Shastram, the fundamental scriptures are Vedas. But we have got another Shastram, and that is called Smruti Rupa Shastram, Veda based scripture. So, in English we call it primary, fundamental, and secondary. So, Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, all of them are also called Shastram. Why? Because Shishyate Gnayate Anena. In fact, we have got so many Shastras. 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, Mimamsa, Nyaya Shastra, Dharma Shastra, Purana, Itihasa, the Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, Artha Shastra, and by extension all Rasayana Shastra, all Shastra. But Moola Shastra traditionally are Vedas. So others are Shastra, but they are Veda Adharita Shastra. Whereas the Vedas are called fundamental. Fundamental means what? Their validity does not depend upon other Shastras, where other Shastras' validity depends upon Vedas. And there Bhagavad Gita is 15th chapter, Idam Shastram, because it is a Shastra Saram. Since it is capturing, the 15th chapter is capturing the essence, therefore it is called Shastra. All right, yes. At the end, yes. I use mic a little bit more, people will hear.
Okay, thank you very much. See, for example, if there is an addiction,
Huh?
if there is an addiction,
Ah.
one can win it over with making a promise on God, Vairakyam, as you are saying.
That is one of the things. It doesn't work all the time.
Yeah. See, I had an addiction. I read so many books, gave it 100 times, then finally I did that and completely I left it. So you are also saying that Vairagya is good on this Bhakti Marga. But on this knowledge-based Marga, for example, I am diabetic. And I don't crave for sweet also. I don't want, I know, I have the knowledge, if you are a diabetic, you are not supposed to eat sweet. Knowledge is there. Desire is also there not to eat sweet. When the karma, when I go there, if I say the sweet, I end up eating the sweet. Not only me, 99% of the diabetic people who have diabetic, they do that.
Okay.
So I can solve it. I can go to the temple and make a promise to God that hereafter I will not eat and I will be able to stop it. But there is one issue, but till my death I can't eat sweet again because I have a fear on that. So,
Okay.
so I thought maybe with our knowledge, how to get that control, not only for this, for anything else also.
He can have something in between. Somebody had suggested this, that you can make promise to Ishvara that I will eat sweet only when it is given by others. Means somebody tells, okay, what's your name? Rajavir. So you take this sweet, you take it. Then it will be very less. Don't tell others that I have taken this vrata. People will oblige you because they also want to be obliged. But this is one way. Or you can take, whenever sweet is offered in the temple as a prasad, I will take it. Except prasada in the temple, I will not take it. So then you can have some sweet also. And when your sugar is down, as a medicine you can have. Sometimes you have to have, no? Yes. So if you see, if once it has worked for you, that by giving promise to God you will not take, then or another thing is, simple one is, you take it for 1 year. Generally lifetime you don't do it. 1 year you take and you see how it works. You tell Ishvara that 1 year I will take sweet only in the temple when it is a prasadam. Otherwise I will not take, and any violation I will pay 1,000 rupees to your undi. I tell you, that is a very strong thing.
No, Swami, with your guidance and promise on God, where is violation then? There will be no violation.
Very good.
So thanks
happy.
for that. I will follow that.
But we should have provision for our violation. All right. Any other question? Yes, Mike. Good. See, one person asks and the other person gets inspired.
Yeah, this is on superimposition. Anatma is superimposed on Atma. It's understandable because it's Anatma is mithya. But when we discuss about Atma and Anatma, it is said they are mutually superimposed, which means Atma, which is Nitya and Nirvikara, that also is superimposed on Anatma. How is it?
Yeah, this thing, I think here it was not discussed. You are asking based on somewhere else. I will answer that, no problem. But here so far we have not talked about it. This is that you are asking based on the Adhyasa Bhashyam. In Adhyasa Bhashya this comes, that Atmanatmano itaretara puraskritya sarve pramana pramaye vyavahara pravruttaha laukika vedikasya. So, yes, there Adhyasa is of various types. One is called the Swarupa Adhyasa and other is called the Samsarga Adhyasa. So when, what is Swarupa Adhyasa? Swarupa Adhyasa means entity itself is superimposed. Like the snake is superimposed upon the rope, the entity itself is superimposed. Then it is called Swarupa Adhyasa. So Anatma to Atma is a Swarupa Adhyasa. Atma to Anatma that adhyasa, they say Atma is superimposed upon Anatma. It is the samsarga adhyasa of Atma. It is the samsarga of Atma is superimposed upon Anatma. How? I will give you the example so it will be clear. When we say, Ayam sarpaha, this is a snake, in that this is there, no? Ayam, this belongs to the rope. When you say this is a snake, that this is the rope, and thisness of the rope is superimposed upon the snake. So this represents the rope, and it is superimposed upon the snake because we are seeing this is a snake. So this adhyasa is called samsarga adhyasa. So entity itself is not superimposed, but it's one of the aspect is superimposed to be connected. The connection is superimposed. Similarly, this is drashtanta. Similarly, when you say I am, that I am is Atma, is representing Atma. And that is superimposed upon karta, bhokta, etc. Kartrutva, bhoktrutva is anatma, and that is superimposed upon Atma. And I am, which is representing Atma, is sambandha is superimposed upon the karta, bhokta. Therefore, we say that Atma is superimposed upon Anatma. Atma is superimposed means samsarga of the Atma is superimposed. Samsarga means connection of Atma is superimposed upon Anatma. Alright.
Atma is gone.
Huh?
Now Atma will be gone to the body. Then only come back for anybody body and talk only that much they not do it.
Atma is not gone, Atma is here.
Yes.
If Atma is gone, you cannot talk.
Come time is gone, then only the Atma will be to go out top. That time will be period. The Atma will be round up in our neighborhood. That's only I will call Atma.
You call whatever you want to call. Atma is what Atma is. So you can call anything to be Atma because everything is Atma. So whom you want to call Atma?
Sir, our sister will died for accident.
Ah.
Then will we go in for 14 years.
Oh.
That period, immediate period, that sister are coming and told that much do it. This is okay. I am not anything and not doing.
Okay.
Afterwards, he will that day I will go. Will be talk for me and the.
So this is a very
Memory.
what
Then
I
after he will come back on memory.
correct. This is a very personal thing. You come and ask me. Okay, I will answer to you. Okay, all right. Oh, yes. Yeah, you can give the mic. Mic people have a good exercise today, I think. One side to the other. Good. Not, I am not able to hear.
Hello. For people who don't have eyes and don't hear, we spoke so much about chakshuhu and hearing and all that. And there is a dream. I mean, I was thinking about it, so I'm asking a question. So they will also have dream.
Dream?
They might have dream. So we see forms and speaking and all that. So their thing will be more like feeling, and their previous janma they might have had the things, but only in the dream what comes will be, then it will be only smell and feelings, or
I have to ask. I have not. Well, since you have told this, I will ask some people. So, what is your question in that?
so my question is there that the eye is not functioning, so they're not seeing any forms, and they're not able to hear. So then
They are not able to hear?
I mean, they don't have, both are not functioning, basically, for people who don't have both of them functioning. Then the mind, how does it function? Like we are talking more about chakshu, and the speaking part is also not work. So most of their indriyas are not working. So what happens?
Whatever is working is good enough to appreciate the presence of Atma. If one organ is working, it is good enough. for appreciating Atma. We can say that suppose my tongue is working, so tasting tongue. So I can say what makes the tongue function is Atma. It's good enough.
I also wanted to know about the dream part.
I have to ask, I am not sure, but I think they can have dream because as you said, they have past janma samskara, they can have dream. But I am not sure whether they have or I will ask and tell you.
Thanks.
All right.
Namaskar, Swamiji. Every day we chant the Shanti part. I am confused with one term. It was there the Mama Brahma Nirakarant. Brahma should not leave me.
Mama Brahma Nirakarot.
Nirakarot. So Brahma should not leave me.
Leave
If I
me means
understood-
Brahma should not reject me, means I should not be deprived of the grace of Ishvara.
So, in what circumstances? Brahma can also leave a person.
It is a figurative expression.
And in what circumstances?
Figurative expression is that may I not be deprived of the grace of Ishvara. That is, it is a figurative expression. Otherwise, you are right that Brahman will not leave me, cannot leave me. But may I not be deprived of the grace of Ishvara. Because of my wrong behavior, because of my wrong attitude, even grace is there, I will reject the grace. So may I not have such behavior, attitude, which will deprive me of the appreciation of grace. That's a figurative expression.
And one other question, Swamiji, that every time I heard that if Atma is known, everything else is, Sarvagya is known. What is that Sarvagya to be known? What is the definition of
If Atma
Sarvagya?
is known, then one becomes Sarvagya.
No, Sarvagya is known. If Atma is known, everything else is known.
Ah,
So what
yes.
is that everything else? What is the
Everything-
definition?
Everything else is really not there. Everything is Atma only. That is why by knowing Atma, everything is known. Like by knowing clay, all the pots are known, essentially. That's why Swami Dayanandji, Puja Swamiji used to use the word as well known. When I know clay, then all things made up of clay are as well known. Similarly, Atma being the content of everything, the truth of everything, like clay is the truth of all pots. So Atma is the content or the truth of everything. Therefore, once I know Atma, then everything is as well known. When I know Brahman as myself, then anything you say, oh something tuk tung tuk, something you use the word, what is that? I can say it is Brahman. For me, nothing is there which is not Brahman. So I can say I know everything in essence. There is nothing which is not Brahman. There is nothing which is not Atma. In that sense, person becomes Sarvagya. So Sarvam Brahmatvena Janati iti Sarvagya. One who knows everything as Brahma, Atma, is called Sarvagya. All right.
When somebody is in coma for a long time,
Yes.
how does all these schemes function? Like he is alive, but he is in coma for the last 4 months.
Correct.
It lies
This
in my own
coma,
house.
coma state we include in Sushupti. Even though it can be accepted as a separate state also. So we have 3.5 states in fact. So Brahma Sutra, this point is discussed. That coma, should it be included in Sushupti or not? That is discussed. This Brahma Sutra, it takes very strange issues. And it said, yes, there is a separate. This coma state is considered to be separate from Sushupti from one angle. Because in this coma, person may have some distortion, pain, etc. Whereas a painful situation, whereas in Sushupti, person is prasanna. So it is considered to be is somewhat different, but still it is included in Sushupti. Otherwise we have to have Atma will not be Turiya, Atma will be Panchama. Because now we have got one coma also. And we have to study one more. Our syllabus will increase. So please don't. We are now studying 3 avastha and Atma. So afterward 4 avastha and Atma we have to study. But it is having similarity with the Sushupti. In the sense that there is no Jagrat avastha, the awareness is not there. This Sukshma Sharira also is Indriyas are not functioning except prana. So we included in Sushupti for all practical purpose. Yes. Yes.
Where the human intellect is not capable of comprehending certain things like anadi, anadi. Shrishti is anadi, avidya is anadi. So, what is the role of Shraddha there? Because Shruti is saying that, so accepting it as it is because my intellect is not capable of comprehending it, how is it?
No, it is not so. See what happened that whatever Shastra says, if I find to be illogical, it is not illogical, but if I think it is illogical, I should ask questions. So therefore, we don't brush aside this question or we insult the person, oh, you don't have Shraddha. We don't answer generally. Why? Because it seems to be illogical. Logical conclusion is that anything is there will have a beginning. That is a mindset. So based on that, person is asking. Ignorance is also a thing, and therefore it should have a beginning. Therefore that insistence will be there. Yes, you are right that in olden days people had so much Shraddha that they will not think so easily it is illogical. Whereas nowadays our study and because of our science study and all, we have become more rational in some area. And therefore it comes and we ask and we entertain. See, I am teaching to educated people, those who have studied. In fact, in our course we ask for graduation and all. So naturally they will have that background, so we have to respect their background. If I am teaching in Kailash Ashram, people will not ask this question. Anadi Shastra mein bola hai na, bas kaam khatam. So if I say this much, that's what it is. Our background is slightly different. We have studied science first. Therefore, we have a particular way of thinking. And based on that, question will come. We should respect that. As a teacher, I never say that, oh, yeah, why are you asking such questions? No. You will never, you generally, I don't say never, but I don't remember that I brush or dismiss person's questions. Question is there is a valid question for that person. So we validate the question. Because of their particular way of thinking, the influence of science, they will ask this question and we should answer. Nothing wrong. So if people who don't have such way of thinking, they may not have this question.
Swamiji, if I am not able to comprehend certain things told by Shruti, can I accept what Shruti says as it is if my intellect is presently not able to comprehend?
If your intellect is not able to comprehend and you accept, it is not a very healthy state. But you don't have a doubt and therefore you accept, it is good.
Because Shruti is saying, like
Shruti
Anadi.
says, and I don't have any doubt. I find is Anadi, so it will be Anadi. Yes. Yeah, it looks Anadi. So some people have that mindset. That what Shruti says, they don't have questions. Their Pramanya Buddhi is so strong, they don't have questions. But there is a possibility that you may be gulping it down. So it is better to chew and gulp it, to chew and swallow it. So in your type of situation, possibility is there that things may be taken up without assimilation. Whereas those people, they will spit it out. Whereas you gulp it down, but both are not very healthy situation. We chew it and then swallow it. So our mind should be open to questions, and our mind, we should not feel bad about having questions. At the same time, we need not feel bad about not having questions. Both ways. Whatever Shastra says and your mind is able to accept and you are able to see the vision, then it is good. You don't have to, like Hindi mein bolte ke, Gujarati I think, they said you should not rub your stomach to create stomach pain. जैसे उसको है ना, they people do it because they want to have medical leave. So you should not do that. If you don't have questions, fine. You should not create the question. But you need not be ashamed of having questions. Both are these both things to be taken care of. All right. Okay.
Maybe an extension of the same thing. See, we are all trained now by virtue of our science education or whatever. For 50, 60 years, we think very logically, in a very different way. Suddenly we come to, Vedanta, and we were advised to have prasada buddhi and all that. How do we really cultivate that? Theoretically, we understand a lot of things. To put it into practice, we need to really cultivate a very different way of thinking and living totally.
Correct? But you should be first convinced of the beauty, the greatness of prasada buddhi. First of all, you have to understand what prasada buddhi is, because there can be some wrong concept about prasada buddhi. So understand what prasada buddhi is, and you understand the beauty of it. And then you ask yourself, what is the obstacle in receiving prasad, in entertaining prasada buddhi? As yesterday or something I told this, for anything, three things. I should see the possibility of having it, and I should see the value of having it. So prasada buddhi, I should see value in it. So what will be the advantage if I entertain prasada buddhi? Not that my Swamiji is telling, so I should do it. No. You yourself get convinced. Finally, you have to approve any idea. Then only it will be assimilated, then only you will practice. Otherwise, what will happen? If you are obliging somebody and practicing, then when that person is out, you will stop. Like, traffic signal when we follow, when police is there. If police is not there, people don't follow. They are not convinced of following traffic signal. Similarly, you get convinced that why prasada buddhi is required. You ask any number of questions. Some people will say prasada buddhi will make me very weak. Prasada buddhi will make me non-progressive. All this, all questions you have regarding prasada buddhi, you ask your teacher. Will this problem happen or not? How to handle this? If I entertain prasada buddhi, these all problems can come. How to handle them? How to address them? Be convinced of it. Very well convinced of it. Take enough time. First you get convinced and then see the obstacles possible. And then slowly it will come. In fact, that's why in our course, we are doing 1 year course here. In that we discuss the value or good quality, like ahimsa we were discussing. So first we discuss what is ahimsa, then what is the importance of ahimsa, what are the obstacles in following ahimsa, what are the means to be adopted. Now everybody gives their input. Now we are discussing what? Relaxation. We are discussing relaxation for how many? I think 4 or 5 weeks we are discussing. Yeah. So why I am telling this, that you have to see something very thoroughly. I got so many points that what are the obstacles in having relaxation. We got so many obstacles. I mean, we got we got a big list of it, And now our topic is how to address some of them. So like that, one should have thorough analysis of any value one would like to adopt.
I remember reading Pujya Swamiji's book, Value of Values.
Very good book, yeah. Please, that's a very good book. One should read. If one really wants to develop values, it's a very, very good book. Yes. All right, so we have brought the book, so at least we'll use it a little bit. Okay. Otherwise, see, next time when I say bring book, people will not bring. So that. Om Spatikarajatavarnam Moktikimakshamalam Amrutakalasha Vidyam Jnanamudrangkaragre Dadatamuragakaksham Chandrachudam Trinetram Vidruta Vividabhusham Dakshinamurtimide ॐ ओंकारसिंहसर्वेन्द्राय नमः। ॐ ओंकारोद्यानकोकिलाय नमः। ॐ ओंकारनीडशुकराजे नमः। ॐ ओंकारारण्यकुञ्जराय नमः। ॐ नगराजसुताजानये नमः। ॐ नगराजनिजालयाय नमः। ॐ नवमाणिक्यमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ नवचन्द्रशिखामणये नमः। ॐ नन्दिताशेषमौनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ नन्दीशादिमदेशिकाय नमः। ॐ मोहानलसुधासाराय नमः। ॐ मोहाम्बुजसुधाकराय नमः। ॐ मोहान्धकारतरणये नमः। ॐ मोहोत्पलनभोमणये नमः। ॐ भक्तज्ञानाब्धिशीतांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्ताज्ञानतृणानलाय नमः। ॐ भक्ताम्भोजसहस्रांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकेकिगणागणाय नमः। ॐ भक्तकैरवराकेन्दवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकोकदिवाकराय नमः। ॐ गजाननादिसम्पूज्याय नमः। ॐ गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः। ॐ गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः। ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः। ॐ गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः। ॐ वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ तेजःपुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ विधेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दरहासजिताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनशेवदये नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रेश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ॐ नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगद्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ॐ मूर्तिवत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोल्लसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ॐ यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। ॐ मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलत्राय नमः। ॐ मधुराधरपल्लवाय नमः। ॐ मञ्जीरमञ्जुपादाब्जाय नमः। ॐ मणिपट्टोल्लसत्कटये नमः। ॐ हस्ताङ्कुरितचिन्मुद्राय नमः। ॐ हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ हंसेन्द्राराध्यपादुकाय नमः। ॐ मेरुशृङ्गतटोल्लासाय नमः। ॐ मेघश्याममनोहराय नमः। ॐ मेधाङ्कुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। ॐ मेधापक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः ॐ धार्मिकान्तर्गुहावासाय नमः ॐ धर्ममार्गप्रवर्तकाय नमः ॐ धामत्रयनिजारामाय नमः ॐ धर्मोत्तममनोरथाय नमः ॐ प्रबोधोद्गारदीपश्रिये नमः ॐ प्रकाशितजगत्त्रयाय नमः ॐ प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः ॐ प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः ॐ ज्ञानानन्तरभासात्मने नमः ॐ ज्ञातृज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः ॐ ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्यांगाय नमः ॐ ज्ञातृज्ञादिकुलागताय नमः. Yes. So last one, I think we did 86. Jnatrugdhanadi viduragaya namaha. Means one who is not one of the members of this triad of Jnata, the knower, Jnanam, knowledge, or even Pramanam, and Jneyam. It is not one of the triads, and therefore it is called Viduraga, it is beyond. So this Dakshinamurti is Satchid Ananda Brahma, which is not limited to be any one of these three. Data, Jneya or Jnanam. It is not limited to be any one of these three. Therefore it is called Jnatru Jnanadi Viduragaya Namaha. Now the next one is Jnana Jna Dvaita Divyangaya Namaha. So here Akaranta Pullinga Jnana Jna Dvaita Divyanga Shabda. And here Divyanga means, Divya here means effulgent. Anga means Swarupam. So Dakshinamurti is that who is having effulgent nature. And here we have to supply in the form of consciousness, which is Jnana Jna Advaita. Jnana Jna Advaita Divyanga is there. Jnana Jna Advaita Divyanga. So Dakshinamurti is the one whose self-effulgent nature is in the form of consciousness, in which Jnanam, here Jnanam can be taken as a Pramanam, the means of knowledge. Jnanam and Jna. Jna means knower. Janatiti Jnaha. So Jna means knower. So Dakshinamurti is having the effulgent nature in the form of consciousness, in which the means of knowledge, Jnanam, Jna, the knower, all of them are having Advaita, are resolved as one. So knower, means of knowledge, all of them are resolved into this consciousness as one. So Dakshinamurti is of the self-effulgent nature in the form of consciousness, in which the means of knowledge, the knower, are resolved to be one. Advaita means being one, being non-dual. So idea conveyed is that Dakshinamurti is that Akhanda Chaitanyam in which there is no duality of knower, known, means of knowledge. So it is self-effulgent consciousness. Divyanga means it is self-effulgent nature, which is consciousness. So my salutation to Dakshinamurti, whose self-effulgent nature in the form of consciousness, in which the means of knowledge and the knower are resolved to be one, are having oneness. Means what? The Jnanam, means of knowledge, also is expression of that same consciousness. The knower also is the expression of same consciousness. So all of them, when we inquire the reality of all of them, means of knowledge or knower or knowledge or this object of knowledge, when we inquire the nature of all of them, the truth of all of them are resolved into this Akhanda Chaitanyam. And this Akhanda Chaitanyam is the nature of Dakshinamurti. So Dakshinamurti is of this self-effulgent nature, which is consciousness, in which the means of knowledge, the knower, all of them are resolved as one. All right. So means it is the adhishthanam of all. The next one is Gnatru Gnanadi Kulagataya Namaha. Akaranta Pullinga Gnatru Gnanadi Kulagata Shabda. Chaturthi Vibhakti Ekvachanam. So here what is that? Gnatru, the knower. Jnana. Jnanam can be taken as means of knowledge or knowledge. Adi, etc. Etc. means Jneya, object of knowledge. Kula means group. And here Agata also can be taken, Agata also can be taken. So we will take both. First we will take Agata. Agata means Vyaptaha. So Dakshinamurti is Agata. Agata means arrived, pervading. Pervading what? Kula, the group. Group of what? The knower, means of knowledge, etc. So my salutation to Dakshinamurti, who is Agata, pervading the group of the knower, means of knowledge, knowledge, object of knowledge. So Dakshinamurti is that Chaitanya Swarupa which pervades all of them. Gnata, Gneya, Gnanam, all of them are pervaded by Dakshinamurti. That is the idea conveyed by Gnatru Gnanadi Kulagataya Namaha. My salutation to Dakshinamurti, who is pervading the group of the knower, knowledge, etc. If we take Agata, Agata means is not obtaining, is not part of that. So same idea which we had seen earlier in the Gnatru Gnanadi Vidura Gaya, that idea will come. It is beyond, Agata means beyond, means not limited by the group of this knower, known, etc. So Agata also is possible, Agata also is possible. So one is called transcendental nature, other is called immanent nature. So it is pervading all of them, manifesting as all of them, and at the same time it transcends all of them, means it is not limited to be any one of them. When this understanding about Atma is clear, then you have got good grasp of Vedanta. When you can handle both, Atma is everything, Atma is beyond everything. If these two statements are sitting in your head without any fighting, then you have understood Vedanta well. Alright. So more we'll see in the next class. And I wanted to appreciate all of you for your special contribution on the Kartika Deepam. All of you have really offered your seva of lighting up this Gurukulam with so much dedication. I saw people were doing with so much devotion and dedication. I really appreciate your seva, your service, your attitude of contribution. God bless you. The Kartika, this Kartika Swami will bless you all. And those who have done and those who have watched and appreciate. Appreciation also is a job. So I have done that job. So see, like playing is required, similarly somebody should be there. Audience also should be there. So all of you, I congratulate and appreciate your contribution. I thank you all. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.